I welcome everyone to this event once again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. From anywhere you're joining in, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, very quickly in the chat box before we start, can you quickly just say your name and where you are joining from? Your name, where you are joining from. For me, I'm Peter. And I'm joining from GritinAI. GritinAI. Right. All right, Richard from Benin City. Welcome. Yobusa from Benin. Yobusa, welcome. We have just 4 more minutes to just tell us our name. We are joining from Jessica, Benin City, Joyce, Lagos. Welcome. Helen, Abuja, welcome. Ruben from Lagos, welcome. Ebuka from Abuja as well, welcome. Sunday from Port Harcourt, welcome. Martin from Benin, welcome. Kenny from Lagos, welcome. Tolu from Ogun, welcome. Awesome. Okay, 1 minute more. Oh, I forgot. Tango from Benin City, Richard from Benin City. Welcome. Right. All right. So without taking much of our time, let's know briefly about Grit AI. Let's know briefly about Grit AI, what they plan to give, why they are organizing this event, and making sure everyone gets the best out of it. Okay. So for those of you that have gone to the website already, www.gritinai.com, you should have seen a little updates about Grit AI. For those of you that follow them online, you should have seen some updates about Grit AI as well. Okay, so I'm one of the team members of Grit AI, organizing team members of Grit AI. And we do hope that you enjoy the ride. All right. So let's commence what we hope to get out of all this. All right. So for those that are just joining, I am Peter. All right. I'm Peter, and I'll be hosting today's event on getting started with data science. Okay. So Grit AI would love to share with us basically the problem that is why we are here. And I'll say the products, what we plan to achieve while we are here. All right. So let's start the journey. All right, now, data science, machine learning, deep learning, all right, all come and from the term artificial intelligence. We all know that it's growing fast these days, and a lot of individuals and companies, right, want to utilize the knowledge here. Okay, so but some lack learning aids. One, again, mentorship in the likes of individuals, because you agree with me that a lot of persons want to actually do well in this area, in this field, but some lack mentorship. Yeah, okay. Again, some lack capable hands, right? Then again, working locations in likes of companies and industries, which will not be addressing here for this event. All right, so let's move forward. Our company. So if you have searched our page already, www.gritai.com, which is on the chat. Searched about us, you see something like this, right? So Grit AI is a startup. So we should know that it's a startup, all right, that brings the light of artificial intelligence in different fields, which we will address later. Let's move forward. Centered on conducting trainings, building products, and helping match mentees with mentors. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at for this event. So now the problem, okay? So the major issue that is on the that is in Nigeria, let's say Nigeria job market for now, is that most lack direct relationship and communications with mentors. Some lack motivations, and some lack connections to the job market. You agree with me that most of us have actually dived into this field, data science, and most of us hope to get something out of it. But on the long run, it's like there are no connections to job. Like we don't actually do something. We actually do things. We may just learn the skill and we are just there. All right. So those are most of the problems that we would love to tackle. All right. So other persons, which is them, and we, which is us. Now, other persons basically conduct trainings. I would say they basically conduct trainings. After conducting training, the question is, what's the way forward? What's the way forward? And that is the major question that everyone asks. But we, on our own end, all right, so we conduct trainings, we monitor growth, right? We create an environment where jobs can be assessed. So now, if you're done with trainings, you should be able to assess jobs. Either you're working full time, you're working remotely, or from wherever you want to work based on your skill sets. Again, we help connect mentees with mentors. Growing up, I understood that there are different learning rates. All right, some learn very fast, while some need time and enough. I would say enough mentorship to grow. Okay, so there are some persons that we like to connect with a mentor that will put them on a track, all right, on a learning track. So daily checks, daily guidance, and stuff like that. We enable these persons come to light in areas like this. All right. So again, we assist in bringing those ideas to life. Most of us already have something we want to build, right? That is why we want to start up a course like this. Many of us are loving the language, artificial intelligence. We are like, okay, I want to build this, I want to build that, I want to build that. So some of us, we have what we want to actually build, but the direction or assistance in building those projects, we lack them. All right. So we're here for that. All right. So also, after taking up a course like this, there are all there are other learning platforms where I would say we've learned, right? So basically, we just got certificates, but we really don't use those certificates to assess jobs and the rest, because most times these job markets where they need a good resume and they need a good online presence. So as a data scientist, which you'll be after this course, you should be able to have a very standard resume, all right? And you should be able to have a very good online presence. So which we are going to also be assisting with. So it's advised that you have a very good resume and a good online presence, all right? Another thing that we are going to offer here is we are not just going to teach and leave you, okay? We are also going to assist you to showcase your works and articles on our official pages. All right, so this is how it works. So in case you have a very nice work you've done, maybe after this event, all right, or before this event, or you have a very nice article and you need it to be published and, to be advertised. All right, so GritinAI is here to do that for you. So we assist in taking those your works and your articles, publish them on our official pages, and you get recommendations. All right. So building of company products and the rest is not going to be discussed here for this bootcamp, for this event. All right. So solution that we hope to bring, or we are bringing, is actually to bridge the gap in bringing standard results from both our community members and our customers' performance. So we are going to be utilizing these skills here in bringing out standard results. And we hope that at the end of this bootcamp, we get some persons that will love to join, the team in actually building products. All right, it's actually utilizing these skills we've learned to work out some things. So, with that being said, let us kick off our today's event. But before we kick off our today's event, in case you have some questions from what was just said, you can quickly highlight them in the chat box. I can allow us say 5 minutes. In case we have questions that want to be answered here, we can just quickly drop them in the chat box for attention while we move on to today's event, getting started with data science. I think before now, some persons sent some mails and they were like, tell us about you, who you are, and stuff like that. So I believe everything you need to know about us has been well answered, right? All right. Okay. So I believe you can see my screen, right? Okay, so um, like we likely said from the beginning, we said GritinAI is basically a startup that brings the light of artificial intelligence in all of its through trainings, building product, and mentoring, right? So outline of today's program. One, what is data science? What is data science? Two, what data science is not. So it's not okay to just know what data science is because most times we we confuse data science with some other areas that are not data science, okay? Or rather, we confuse data science with area which is not just based that. We'll look at that, all right? So again, we'll look at um, data science examples, and we'll look at this course objective and topics, right? So we're going to look at how we plan to organize this event, to how we plan to watch and scale this course we're going to be taking. All right, so we'll look at course and objective. So what is data science? What is data science? You agree with me that the start of a good data science course, right, should begin with a definition, or at least what the term mean, right, in the context of this course. So despite the fact that a lot of persons have been doing data science for a long time in different form or one form or another, the term itself is relatively new, I would say, and different fields have tried to define the terms in different ways, of which me myself I will agree to. Okay, so but for most of these parts, I'll try to avoid any strict definitions throughout the course. So instead, I can just say that data science is whatever a data scientist do, right? So, or maybe more correctly, I can say data science are those skills required in data science job posting in a simple manner. So those skills required in data science job posting, I would say that is data science, right? So let's look at some possible definitions. Like I have said that data science is the application of computational and statistical technique to address or gain insight in some problems in the real world. All right. So the key phase is here. All right. The key important phase here is computational, statistics, and real world. So computational, I would say that data science typically involves some sort of algorithmic methods. All right. Algorithmic method written in codes. So I would say that is for the computational. Then statistical, I would say statistical inference, all right, which lets us build the predictions that we make. And again, real world. So we're talking about deriving insight, all right, not into some artificial process, but into some truth in the real world. Okay. Another way of looking at this in some sense is that data science is simply the union of the various techniques that are required to accomplish this definition above. So the various techniques used to accomplish the application of computational and statistical techniques, all right, to address real-world problems. Okay, so again, another possible definition which I have here, I have that data science equals statistics plus data processing plus machine learning plus scientific inquiry plus visualization plus business analytics plus big data. Okay. Okay, so I have here some list of best jobs in Ranker. So the first top job is there, which you can be seeing there, which you can see there. A data scientist. The second job there can be a secret agent. All right. Again, I have a coolest job in the world. On that list of data science job in Glassdoor, I can see that a data scientist comes to the second place. Right. And in information security analyst comes to the sixth place. So you can see that as a data scientist, you actually hot kicks. So yeah, it's not fair to have some data science skills and you are not earning or you are not utilizing it for anything yet. So we can see that worldwide that data scientists are sorted on the job market today, on the job board today, when you check, you cannot find, or you can hardly find, a single company that don't need a data scientist. So there is actually a lot of job openings, both job openings, internship, work remotely, work full-time, work part-time as a data scientist. All right. So now let's look at what data science is not, or is not just. So it's not this, but it is not just this as well. All right. So now let's define data science as is at other constituent parts, I'll say. All right. So now data science is not machine learning, and data science is not just machine learning. Okay, so for have you said machine learning involve computational and computation and statistics, but has not been very concerned about answering scientific questions. Machine learning has a very heavy focus on fancy algorithms, because sometimes the best way to solve a problem is just by visualizing the data. The best way to solve a problem is just by visualizing data. Furthermore, machine learning as a field is typically concerned primarily about the development of new algorithms. Again, deep learning, for instance, has come to dominate much recent work in machine learning. And the focus here is often on advanced algorithms and can squeeze out improved performance on extremely challenging tasks. But the reality is that for many data science problems, okay, simple machine learning algorithms suffice to attain sufficiently good performance, right? Which is very effective to solve the problem. So we don't plan to make things more complex or more challenging, instead more clear. So again, data science is not machine learning competitions. I know that many of us have um, um, those of us here already that have already studied the skill of data science. We engage in different competitions, basically on Kaggle and the rest of them. All right. So for instance, companies like Kaggle, which bills itself as the home of data science and machine learning. Okay. I'm actually a big fan of Kaggle. I normally go there to get data for machine learning projects and stuff like that. I think I've done some hackathons on Kaggle. All right. But what they do, is I'll say Kaggle runs a machine learning context, right? Where participants um download the data set, right? Upload predictions for some unseen portions of the data set and try to optimize various performance metrics. Okay. Usually with some price of for the top entries. That is basically Kaggle. Basically what Kaggle do. All right. But again, Kaggle is a wonderful resource. But the competitions are not actually data science. All right. So making good machine learning based predictions can be an important part of data science. All right. But truly, the core purpose of data science involves collecting the data to begin with. All right. So as a data scientist, you should be able to collect data to begin with. All right. Again, defining the problem you are trying to solve. And frequently redefining it many times. So it's not just you are collecting, it's not just you are trying to solve a problem. So some other times you actually redefine those problems many times based upon improved understanding of the problem over time. So as you start off your work as a data science, as a data scientist, you start seeing other issues that you can tackle. So over time, you are redefining the problem, all right? And then interpreting and understanding the results, knowing what actions to take based upon whatever you've gathered, all right? So cargo context decidedly do not address almost any of these points. Because first of all, they've given you data already. Most of the data is already clean data already, all right? And to be fair, the people at Cargo actually are well aware of this fact. And over time have been moving towards something that is much more along the line of complete data science with their data sets and their Cargo pages. All right. So finally, again, data science is not statistics, and data science is not just statistics. So like I have here, I said, analyzing data computationally to understand some phenomena in the real world. You say that sounds an awful lot like statistics, right? So statistics has evolved a lot more along the mathematical / theoretical frontier. Not many statistical courses have lecture on web scrubbing and the web scrubbing or a lot of data science data process more generally. Okay, so we are seeing that data science is actually not just statistics, and data science is not statistics. Again, data science is not big data, and data science is not just big data. So there is like a linkage that equates data science with the rise of big data. So let's assume that big data just refers to data that can't easily fit and that can't easily fit in memory on a single machine. All right. So most data science can work just fine using the data that still fits into a single machine. All right. So like I have here on the screen, I said sometimes in order to truly understand and answer your questions, you need massive amounts of data, but sometimes you don't. So data science is not just big data, as the name implies, big data. Okay. So sometimes you can just use some basic data you have to run your data science project, which I also have here. I said, don't create more work for yourself than you need to. So back to what data science is. So the goal of this course is to expose students to the entire pipeline associated with data science project. That is, this course, all right, will teach you the basics of everything you need to understand. All right, so how to embark on data science project. So data processing and collection, data exploration and visualization, machine learning method, statistical analysis techniques, and techniques for debugging this pipeline when things do not work as hoped for. All right. So in reality, it's not a linear process. So like you can see from this chart I have, you are seeing that it is not always a straight line. It's back and forth and back. So it's in reality, it is not actually a linear process. All right. So experience and insights at later stages. All right. Feedback and change what we do on previous stages. So if you move from this stage to the other, from this stage to the other, some inference you get, some feedbacks you get changes what you have done in previous stages. So sometimes you have to go back. So, all right. So it's not always a linear or straightforward process. Okay, so let's look at some data science examples. So here is a picture of gendered language in teachers review. So what the authors of this aim to do, I think the link to that page is displayed there. What it does is that it counts the number of occurrence of different terms per million words for reviews of male and female professors. All right. So no information about the gender of students reviewer is available on this site, as you can see. If you check the site out. So what it does is that it then plots these occurrences for professors across different disciplines, right? Sorted by the number of occurrences across all review. So this I would say is a basic data science example. So another thing I love about this is that it is so simple from a data science perspective. It is so simple from a data science perspective. As you can see, there is no machine learning, not even any basic statistics, no predictions, as you can see. Really even no inference about what this means regarding to the true nature of the reviews for gender. Okay. That is an example, I would say, of a very good data science project. But the beauty of this interactive figure does not come from the simplicity, though. There are famous quotes by, I think, yeah, John Turkey, right? Yeah, a very reckoned, a very reckoned statistician, um, which seems to have been quoted by many data scientists that I've seen. All right, so another example is forecasting the race of the house, a very good data science project. Another example of data science project is poverty mapping. All right, so the idea of this, the idea the author was trying to portray from this was trying to understand what communities from Kenya and Uganda would benefit most from charitable donations. So they found out that one of the highest indicators of relative wealth in these countries is the number of people who have metal roof instead of thatched roof. So the goal of this particular work was to use computer vision applied to satellite imagery to automatically estimate the number of metal and thatched roof across various regions, which you can see from this image. So you can also check this work out. You can see them on the web. All right. So again, course objectives and topics. So learning objective of this course. So after taking this course, you should understand the full data science pipeline, right? And be familiar with programming tools to accomplish the different portions. That is one. Again, you should be able to collect data because you are a data scientist. So you should know how to collect data yourself and not just going to download data from different websites. So you should know how to collect data from unstructured sources, store it using appropriate structures, all right? So such as relational databases, graphs, metrics, and so on. Know how to explore and visualize your data, okay? And finally, be able to analyze your data rigorously using a variety of statistical and machine learning approaches. So those are what you hope to get from this after taking this course. So topics that will be covered for this course. Topics that will be covered for this course. And again, these topics are subject to change. Not for this bootcamp, probably after this bootcamp as we go on. Right? So these topics are subject to change. One is data collection and management. So on that day, we have relational data, metrics and vectors, graphs and networks, pretext processing and graphical data. Again, next is statistical modeling and machine learning. So under here, we should cover linear and nonlinear classification, regression, regularization, data cleaning, hypothesis testing, kernel methods, and SVMs, support vector machine, boosting, clustering, dimensionality reduction, recommender systems, deep learning, probabilistic models, scalable ML, and finally visualization. So basic visualization and data exploration, data presentation, and interactivity. All right, so tools and deeper understanding. All right, so most of the techniques that we will use in this course, all right, have mature tools. Have mature tools in the sense that already have maybe some framework that you can use, right? So have mature tools that you will likely use in practice. But philosophy of this course is that you use these tools most effectively when you understand what is going on under the hood. Okay, I think someone was telling me or sharing with me before, it was like, why still learn the math behind machine learning when companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and the rest has actually built a cloud system where you can just put your models, run tests, run your models, and make things work in a twinkle of an eye. So those are actually nice tools, but sometimes it's nice you understand the the math and everything behind it. All right. The thing is that if I understand how to use machine learning framework built by Amazon, and maybe I want to work in Microsoft, I have to start learning those. I have to start because again, Microsoft has their own machine learning frameworks. I have to start learning Microsoft machine learning frameworks. So we concluded, is it not better you personally you just learn how it works from the scratch? So even if I go to Amazon, I'm like, okay, I've not learned how to use it in your own product, but I already have um the grassroots understanding. Amazon will say, okay, you can come in. Maybe there's something you can work you can work out for us. Again, if I go to Microsoft and I'm like, I already have every grassroots understanding from the basics and everything. Microsoft will still say, okay, that's nice. You can also come in and maybe there is something you can work out for us. So it's nice to understand the basics of everything and how it works. So this course will teach you some of the more common tools, but you will also need to implement some of these underlying methods. All right. So example, we'll teach you how to run machine learning algorithms using scikit-learn libraries, but you will need to implement some of these algorithms yourself. Okay. Then recommended background. So the only formal prerequisite for this course is an introduction to programming. So if you have not taken one yet, that is fine. But as the course go on, we are going to cover up some preview of um, um, some basic programming of which we've done before. So it's just basically running through them again and seeing how it works. All right. So we strongly recommend that everyone here have experience with Python, because we are basically going to be using Python for this course. So we strongly advise that everyone here have basic experience with Python, and ideally some background of probability and statistics, and also linear algebra. Okay, so as the course go on, if you don't have background in these areas, you may still sign up. All right, so we are here. You may still sign up, but be aware that you will need to learn some of these terms as we proceed. So as we proceed, we are going to be explaining some of these terms. We are going to be providing you with some, will I say, some resource in which you can get these terms. All right, so now I'll point this out. If the homework that we are going to be giving seems hard, all right, but you have ideas about how to proceed, then you probably have the right level of background for this course. So I would not advise that we just jump at this, because I would say because it's the talk of the town. Okay, so there are many other things that we can do. So if you notice that the homework is hard and you have no idea at all to proceed, then I think this may be the wrong course. I think this may be the wrong course. But you can reach out. There are many other areas that we can advise that you jump into. All right. So if you notice that the assignments we are giving, I'll repeat, notice the assignment we are giving is hard, but you have some insights, okay, then you can proceed. But if you find out that it is hard and you have no idea of what to do, I advise that you quickly reach out and, you can discuss other things. Okay, I'm supposed to introduce our team member for this course. So me, I am one of the team members for this course. So I'll be taking you through, I think, this first week of this course. On board again, we have Yobusa, another expert in this area. We have Imon. We have Emmanuel, another expert in this area. And these persons have work experience and have grown these skills over the time to be able to handle and take the courses. Okay. So all course materials, slide, notes, lecture videos, assignments will be available on the course web page. So the course web page is GritinAI.com. So after every course, you can allow us maybe 2 to 3 hours to ensure that we've uploaded the course materials, including maybe the videos for the classes, the slides, the lecture notes, you need them as well, will be uploaded there. So you can get them from the course website. Then class participation. For most part of this course, I would love to break participants into group projects and assignments. All right. So those of you that join in today and that will join in subsequent classes, we are going to look forward to share a form link with you guys. Share a form link with you guys to share you guys into groups. All right. To handle projects and assignments. Yobusa, please, if you are on the call, can you quickly create a Google link so that we can collect attendance of those that were present for today's meeting, today's class, so that we can join them, we can arrange them, or rather sort them out in groups for courses and assignments. So before the end of this call, we should be able to be able to gather that. All right. So before we proceed, or before we continue, I'm looking for questions at this point. Questions. So questions. So if you have a question, you can just quickly drop it on the chat box. You can just quickly drop it on the chat box as we commence this to be the end of today's lecture and continue on next lecture is on Wednesday, same time, 4 p.m. If you have questions about today's lecture, today's intro, today's topic, do let us know in the chat box. All right. Helen, if you are available, you can help drop this link on the chat. Some persons. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am sorry. We ought to extend this to be a 2-hour class, but some persons complain that they will not be able to, will I say, stay to the end of today's class. But from on Wednesday, we're hoping that it will be a 2-hour class. Yes, recordings, like I said, will be uploaded in the page GritinAI. So you'll see a link provided there where you can click and get access to the course notes, the course slides for today's lecture. All right. So now let me give heads up on our next lecture. Our next lecture, which is on Wednesday, what we're going to be covering is we're going to be getting started with tools for data science. So we're going to be walking you guys through those of you that have not yet downloaded or have tools for data science like Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, or those of you that don't have enough space, or maybe those of you that are going to be using your mobile phones, I would advise that you can also use Colab, Google Colab. So tomorrow's class, I'll be walking you guys through downloading and using an Jupyter Notebook from Anaconda. All right. Also, those that will not be having maybe enough space, and maybe you can use Google Colab. All right. So I'll be walking you guys through on how to use Google Colab and how to link your drive to Google Colab so you can access data sets for subsequent classes. So next class is starting with data science tools and Python refresher. All right. So previously we've done a Python bootcamp, which some of you were part of. All right. So the next class we're going to be doing a Python refresher. So Python refresher will be done on these data science tools we're going to be downloading, like in Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. So we're going to be doing Python refreshers on these tools we are going to be working with. So we will see how we are going to be using Python throughout this course. That we're going to be covering for tomorrow's class. Then still tomorrow's class, we're going to be covering how you can get data. All right, different types of data, how to get data from web pages, from websites, and not just going to download data from maybe Kaggle or any other website. So we're going to see how you can get your own data from different web pages, or how you can scrap data from different web pages, and how you can work with different data sets, just like CSV, JSON, and the rest of them. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Peter once again. So before we enter this section, if you have questions that we'll cover, we have questions. All right. Thank you from Obo. He said those of you that are not yet in the WhatsApp group, you can check your mails. There was a link to the WhatsApp group. So somebody said he's going to drop a link to getting started with Python in subsequent class. Before we enter this class, sir, please can you drop a Google form to get the names of those that were present today, so that we can share them into groups for subsequent projects and classes? Helen, you can do that for us. Thank you. Yeah, those apps can be run on your system. Yes, it can be run on your system. So you can download them. You can download them to work with them offline. Or if you don't want to download them, you can use Google Colab online to actually run them and to work fine. So you can either download them or you work with them online. Okay, no, we don't issue certificates at the end of this course, sorry. But subsequently, we plan to do that. But for this particular bootcamp, we are not going to issue out certificates. I hope I did not break your heart, Samson. Yeah. All right. Okay. Basically, we are going to just be working with Jupyter Notebook. So you can get that from Anaconda. Just search Anaconda, just download Anaconda. But yeah, you can just probably download Anaconda, install it, and launch Jupyter Notebook. But there are some things I'll be talking about while installing Jupyter Notebook. While installing Jupyter Notebook, you already have Python installed. Yeah, correct, Anaconda. You already have Python installed. You should not allow Anaconda to use its own, download its own Python framework, so as to avoid conflict in the future. So careful with downloading to avoid conflict later on. Helen, Yobusa, please can you drop? And those of you that are not following our pages, what we are doing, we are on our pages, we are dropping data science terms. So each day we drop a data science term that you should be aware of. So as a data scientist, these terms are what you are going to be making use of day in, day out. These are the terms that you should be aware of. So we started, I think, from on Monday, and we've dropped about 7 data science terms now. So each day, you should know a particular data science term. Just look at it, read it, and know what it is, and know how it works. So subsequently, we can just do a random quiz and know if you have known this particular data science term, and they can some packages can be distributed for those of them that are aware of those things. So check check daily and know the data science term for that day. If I ask, what is the data science term for today? Who knows? 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Anaconda.
No. Our page, our page for today, data science term for our page today is what? Nobody?
Data partitioning.
Data partition, very correct. I hope you not spy. Very correct. Helen, please, can you provide the Google link? Okay. Those of you that have been okay, if I drop it in a group chat, everybody will we sign up. But I want those of them that are present here to be on that form link for group project and assignment. Can somebody Helen, please, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Or okay, for those present, there is a form that will be shared now. Please quickly put down your name and your mails, right? We have I think 5 minutes and we are done for today's class. All right. Thank you. Okay. 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 If you are yet to register, please. Okay. 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 Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Samson. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Peggy. Sorry if I pronounced wrong. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, teaching. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Louis. Goodbye, yeah. Thank you. Goodbye, Samson. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Onyinye. Sorry if I pronounced wrong. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Manuel. Goodbye, Manuel. Yeah, thank you. It was nice having you. Thank you, Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Sorry if I pronounced wrong. For those of you still around, I want us to do one last thing. I would love us to take a group photo. So if you don't mind, you can open your camera and let's take a photo. Very important. Well, there's no problem. Maybe next class. Next, I don't know. Next class we'll do that since the rest person and not present again. All right, it was nice having you guys. Have a lovely evening, a lovely morning, a lovely afternoon from wherever you are joining me from. Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you. Okay, so I believe everyone has registered. So come to the close of today's class, today's meeting, and we hope to see you guys on Wednesday again. If you are yet to sign up your name, please indicate. I hope nobody had issues signing up their name in the attendance. Thank you. All right. Goodbye. Have a lovely evening. Lovely afternoon.